Ryan Ingebritsen grew up in Bloomington, and he moved to Chicago about 10 years ago, but his ties to Minnesota are still very strong. He has family here, and he's coming back this summer to be the artist in residence through the Minnesota State Park system. He's going to talk about that, but here we are at the Southern Theater to watch the world premiere of a new piece he's put on the International Contemporary Ensemble. So let's meet Ryan and listen to some of his minimalist music on this edition of 3 Minute Egg.
I originally actually went into thinking I'd be a film composer, but that as soon as I heard George Crumb, that was kind of all out the window. So I, after St. Olaf, just did a few odd jobs, played in some bands. Eventually went to Poland to study because I became a big fan of Polish composers like Penderecki. Some of the minimalists like Górecki that were doing kind of timbreless minimalism. I think it was mostly just being excited that there was another way to write music other than just with notes, that you could use pure sound to create music. A lot of people are very averse to it because it has sometimes a very harsh sound to it, but to me it was just so passionate. It just reached into your deepest emotions. Even though in this piece there's definitely a chord structure which is really important, which kind of develops itself over the course of the piece, ultimately I'm really working with, in this case, with the way sound reveals a certain hidden character. In this case, the piece is called El Gran Oceano, and it's based on a Pablo Neruda poem. And it's basically just his ode kind of to the ocean. And to me, it kind of speaks of this like mathematical intricacy that kind of lies behind what creates, why the ocean swells the way it does and at the rate it does. It's actually all very mathematical, and it's something that's kind of universal. This summer I will be living in Minnesota for 2 months. I'll be the McKnight visiting composer. And I'm doing a project in the Minnesota State Parks called Song Path.
What is that going to be?
It's going to be ultimately it's going to be a sonic guided tour of the state parks, meaning I'm actually going to have an audience, 10 or 12 people at a time max, kind of go on a tour with me, where I encourage them to do nothing, to be completely silent and only listen to what they're hearing. And actually, it's a way to try to get the sonic qualities of the park to come to life.